Hi friends, welcome back in our channel Eazzy Learning Lab. I am back again with the interview questions, top 10 interview questions in my this video. So friends, let's start. Let's start one by one questions. So friends, generally in 2021 we have few more questions. We have added few more questions in our dictionary. So what are these? So I want to tell you about one by one. I will tell you about one by one. Okay. So friends, first question, what are aggregated functions? So I will give you 10 seconds friends to get the answer. Okay friends, now I will tell you what is the answer of it, how to give the answer if this type of question is asked by the interviewer. So friends, basically what is aggregated function? Aggregated function perform operation on a collection of values to return a single scalar value. Aggregation functions are often used with a group by clause and having clause of the select statement. So friends, you got what is the answer of it? It is basically aggregated function perform operation on the collection of values. And what it return? It return a single scalar value. It return a single value. Like we have these functions: average, count, minimum, maximum, sum, first, last. Also remember, it ignores the null value except count. Only count will consider the null values. So for easy way, I will tell you the example of it. So let's take an example of average. If there is a table A and you have to find the average on a particular column, so what it will return? It will return only one value, like average of combined average of that value. Okay, so this is basically means a single scalar value. Same way count, what did a count? Number of records. It will give a value, a single scalar value. Minimum, it will give the single minimum value. Maximum value, sum also give the same. So like this way it works. Also, if there is a null value, like if you are calculating an average, and if there is a null value, it don't consider in calculating in that average. So only in a count, when you have a count function, in that function it uses. Okay, so I think you understand it. Okay friends, next we have a second question. We'll move to a second question if you got the answer of this. Second question is, what are scalar functions? Earlier it was a scalar value, means a single value, and now it is a scalar functions. So what are these? Let's go. Scalar functions returns a single value based on the input value. So it's a scalar values. It's return a scalar values like length, upper, lower, round. So what does length does? Like if you want to get the length of any word, like we just need a length of ABC. What is the length? 3. We want this output, so we will use a length function, which is a scalar functions. Same way, if we have some lowercase and we want to do a uppercase, we use a uppercase scalar functions. We have then a lowercase scalar function, then we have a round. If we want to round any number, we use a round function. We have other function also like init cap. Like for init cap is used to get the first character as capital and all other characters as smaller. So we have all the other functions also. Okay friends, so these are the scalar functions. Remember friends, these are all these scalar functions. Okay friends, now the third question is difference between procedure and functions. Generally, if you have experience on Oracle or you have experience on SQL servers, so these type of questions are very common. Generally people ask you what's the basic difference between a procedure and a functions. Generally in SQL, in MySQL, MS SQL, we have a procedure and function, while in Oracle we have a package, procedures and functions. So friends, generally people ask you what is the basic difference between procedure and functions. So let's see. I will give you 10 seconds to just think about it. So let's have the answer. So first, a function deals with an expression. The function deals with an expressions. Generally it deals with an expressions. A procedure does not deal with the expressions. Like generally, why we'll call a function? To calculate some value or to get some return value. So in the function we deals with an expressions, while in the procedure we do not deal with the expression. A function is used to calculate something from and give out input. Like it calculates some, we give some input and it gives us some output to us. While in the procedure is a set of commands which are executed in order. Like in procedure we have a sets of command which executed one by one in a order. A function can call by the procedure. Okay, function can be called in the procedure, but procedure cannot be called in the function. Function use DML operations. Functions cannot use DML operations like insert, update, delete. It cannot use this. We use DML operations in the procedure. Okay, function will always return any value, while procedure has no such restrictions, like it should return a value. Okay, so these are the basic difference between a function and a procedures. So remember it. Next we move to our fourth question. So what are relationships? It's very general questions. I will give you 10 seconds. Think, what are relationships? How many types of relationships are there in SQL? So okay, this is the answer. Relations. What are basically relationship? Relationships are defined as the connection between the table in a database. If there are two tables, there might be any connection between them. Like in my earlier videos you have seen, I have taken employee and department table. In the employee table is connected with a department table by using a department ID. So these is known as basically known as a relationships. And what are types of relationship? One to one relationship there is, one to many relationships, many to many relationship, many to one relationships. So what are these basically? So we will come one by one. One to one. One to months, like in an employee table we have only one. In the employee table we have one department, and in a department table we have only one department name. So this is one to one, like one employee has only one department. So this is one to one relationships. One to many means, like in department we have one record, one is record, and in employee table we have multiple employees whose department is one. What is this type of relationship? This is one to many. Many to many means, like we have many departments and we have many employees in that department. So this is many to many. Many to ones, if you take a reverse, like employee first and department other, then it is many to one relationships. So remember, these are the basic common relationship which found in our databases. Okay, so next we go to our next question. How to select unique record from the table? Like if there is a table and we want to select a unique record from the table, or unique column, we need a unique column from the table. Like you have an employee table and you want a unique name from that employee table. How do you do it? So think, if there is a table in which you have a names, you have also considered that there might be a duplicate names into it. So think, how do you get this unique names from the table? Think. I will give you 10 seconds. Okay friends, I think now you got the answer. We have a distinct clause. Okay, you can select union record from the table by using a distinct keyword. So what is the syntax? Select distinct star from employee. Like if we want to get all the distinct rows from the employee table, we use this syntax. If you put a column, it will give a distinct value for that column. Like in place of a star, you can put a column name also. Okay, you can put a multiple column names, and it will be the unique basically. If there is a duplicate, it will show only one at a time. So this is very important. Okay, distinct clause. So friend, let's go to our next questions. How you will fetch first 5 character from the string. Like friend, my name is Ashish, ASHISH. So I have a 6 character word long, and I have to only fetch first 3 character. So how do you do it? Okay, or take any example, and you have to fetch first 2 characters, 3 characters, or 5 characters. How do you do it? Thinks I will give you 10 seconds. I think friends, you got the answer. It's very simple. Using a sub-str function. Correct? So we can fetch this by using a sub-str command. So what is the syntax? Select substr bracket. If I have a string like eazzylearninglab as of a channel, it is eazzylearninglab. First is 1 means position, first from which position we have to start, and 5 means how many character we have to count. So if we count, what is the first position? E is the first position, EAZZY. So how many? 1 2 3 4 5. So what is the output? Easy. So this way you can get the first 5 character from the string. So I have used a dual from dual. Basically it's a Oracle syntax. It's on Oracle, there is a dual table, but in SQL Server we can write just select, and we will give a substr and the string. We don't have to define the from dual. Okay, dual is basically a default table which contain a record X into it. Okay, in Oracle. Okay friends, but in SQL we can directly put a select. We don't have to put a from clause. It will give the output. Next, our 7th, difference between a local and a global variable. Sometimes people are confused from the local and a global variables. So generally interviewer will check you whether you have a knowledge about global and a local variables. So it's also very simple. I will give you 10 seconds. Okay, I will give you the answer. Local variable. The variable can be used or exist only inside the function. Like the scope of that variable is inside that function or inside that procedure. So that is mean a local variable. Like it has been defined in your function and it is local to that function. It is not be accessed outside the function. If that function is called, then only that variable will be there. Otherwise it will be not, and it cannot be called outside from this function or procedure. Okay, so this is basically a local variable. Global, which can be configured at a global level and which can be used by any of the proc procedure or functions. The variable are variable which can be accessed throughout the program. In your program you can access anywhere. So this is basically a global variable. Okay, these are the definitions of local and global variables. Move to our next questions. So this is the 8th question. What is the question? How to copy structure of a table into another table. So friends, what is the question? You have to copy only the structure of one table to another table. You don't have to copy the data into that table. Interviewer check you like you know the syntax of it. It is not a syntax, it is basically a logical question. He will check you whether you have worked on it or not, because in a database we have a scenario where we have to only copy the structure of that table. We don't need the data from that table. So how do you do it? We need only a structure. So structure means like if the A table contained, like if employee table contained 5 columns, so it will only create that 5 columns, not the data. So how do you do it? I will give you a 10 seconds. Think. So I think you got the answer. The syntax is very simple. You have to make a where condition as a false. The main logic behind is you have to make the val condition as false. So what is the syntax? Create table employee new. I have given a new table which has been named as employee new as select star from employee table where 1 equals to 2. It will never be true. Okay, it will have always be false. So what it does? It just copy the structure. It don't copy the data into the new table. That is the employee new table. Correct? So it's very simple. Basically, while we are doing SQL coding or something, or you are doing a database, we have these type of scenarios where we just needed a structure of the table. We use this thing. Or you can write 1 equals to 5. Just make that condition false. If you put 1 equals to 1, it will copy all the record. It will just work like a select star from that table, because the condition will be true and it will fetch all the records. So just you have to make the condition as false. Okay, I think you got the answer now. We will move to a next question. What is Alias? I will give you 10 seconds. It's very easy questions, and people ask you about Alias. What are Alias? Because sometimes you have to give the Alias. I will give you 10 seconds. Okay, friends. Why it is important? Basically, generally, if you are calculating some values and if you are not giving that alias, it will come with a long column name. So you have to give the alias to that long string, or you have to define some column and give them some alias with some meaningful name. You need a alias. So friends, the command provide another name to a table or a column. Like same column can be given with another name also. Like in my example, you can see select e1 dot name as employee name. So employee name, what is employee underscore name means? It is an alias to e1 dot name. Okay, like when you run this command, it will give a column name as an employee name. It will not give a e1 dot name. It will give a employee name as that column name from employee e1. E1 means I am giving a table name as e1. Sometimes it happens you have a long name of a table, so you want to just short it, like give it alias. So you can use this easier way. Okay, so this is basically a benefit as a alias. So our last question: write an SQL query to fetch the employee full name and replace the spaces with hyphen. Like friends, if your name is like Amit Kumar, Amit space Kumar, and you want Amit underscore Kumar, or space, or you want underscore, or you want hyphen, anything you want to replace any word, or you want to replace Amit also, Amit to some other words. How can you do it? I will give you 10 seconds. Just think. So I think you got the answer. We have a replace command. So using this replace command, it is very useful where you want to replace anything. So what is the command? Select replace. What column you want to replace, which value to find, and what value should be replaced. Okay, so this way its syntax is, so first is the column name, like from this detail in employee detail table we have a full name, so that is a column name. We have to find the spaces and replace the spaces with underscore, with a dash. Okay, so this way what will happen, it will replace the spaces to hyphen. Okay friends, it's very simple. There are lots of scenario which come around this sub str, replace, length. Lots of scenarios are there, lots of logical questions are there. So try to use these functions, try to practice on these functions. Generally interviewer will ask you anything and anything using these functions to perform, because these are very basic questions, basic syntaxes, or basic, you can say basic functions which are generally used everywhere, like upper, lower, very used, very extremely used in our coding. Like if we are generating a report which is given to a API, and you need the name should be in uppercase, then you can do it. Or you are comparing something with a like operator and you want both the value should be upper, you write a upper or lower. This way you can do it. Okay, there are lots of scenarios and lots of questions around it. Okay friends, so I think till now I have covered about 25 very important questions which are asked in 2021. I will put more videos about the interview questions in 2020. I will capture these informations from my different friends who are taking interviews, or with my student generally who are giving interview in the IT organizations. So I will cover most of the interview questions. I'm trying to build about 100 questions dictionary so that you can easily crack any SQL related questions. Okay friends, thank you for watching my video friends. Keep following me, keep watching my video. Also, if you have some suggestions or some comments, mail me so that I can improve my videos. If you have some questions or some doubts, you can definitely mail me. I will try to answer it. Okay friends, thank you friends, and have a good day.